Nigel, your home form last couple of weeks has put you back in the mix, isn't it? 10 points out of 10.
Yeah, it was very important that we had maximum points from the last 2 games. We've done that. Never easy, whoever you play, to do that. You know, I think up until that point, I think we'd only had 1 or 2 bonus point wins. So very pleased overall with that, and we can sort of put that the league to bed for a week or 2, and we can focus on Northampton in the semi-final of the playoff, which is something that we stated we want to do from the outset of the season.
Some bold calls there at the start, because obviously you're turning down a lot of kickable penalties to go for the corners.
Yeah.
Sometimes can backfire. And,
they can, yeah. And I thought, the one time when we went to the corner then and we had the overthrow, but I think it was the right thing to do. It set the mindset, and ultimately it proved the right thing to do. They are bold calls, but you've got to make them.
Stephen there at 10, obviously slotted back in. And
did very well, Steve, controlled the game nicely, was enjoying himself up there. Very influential tonight.
How big an influence is Gareth in the centre as well, nicely?
I think I'm a big believer in combinations, and it's not always the best individual players that make this team, and what Gareth is able to do is actually gel the whole thing, and he's very influential, he talks, he communicates well. And he's got ability that complements the other players.
There's some big moments from in defence and in attack.
But the first try really, put a great pass in there for that, and as soon as you get the first try, you've got some momentum there. Yeah.
Looking at the table, Ulster have had a bonus point win tonight. Glasgow won at the Ospreys. It's all bunching up there between.
It's very tight, and if you drop a game now, you're going to be off the pace, and that's the key to it. You just got to keep on winning. Obviously, the fact that we've got the Blues twice is pretty significant, and because of that, probably ourselves and the Blues are still in control of our own destinies to some extent. Yeah.
Do you want to see those two as knockouts between you two?
They'd be huge fixtures now. They really will. Huge fixtures. And obviously, with the Ospreys losing today, they're back in the mix now, and we're chasing them down as well.
Yeah. Situation with Ben Morgan, Nigel, obviously he came back here, having been released by England. What was the situation there?
Well, we allowed him to train with England for 2 days, and I spoke to Stuart Lancaster after reading some of his comments in the press, just to clarify the situation with him. He said he was misquoted to a certain extent, but Ben trained very hard on Tuesday. As a result of that, there was a fatigue injury in his calf, and when he came back to us, we'd obviously identified that and had scanned it, and it proved to be the case.
Is it a nasty one, or is it?
No, it's not a nasty one. It's a low-grade tear, but still it prevented him from playing this evening, which is a disappointment.
Yeah. But in this place, obviously, Kieran seems to be going from strength to strength.
Kieran's fantastic, isn't he? He just keeps going. He's so explosive.
He's obviously someone who you put a lot of store in as well, in terms of what he offers.
Yeah, we are, and we've got good options there now with Matt Gilbert, in fairness, when he came on, he carried hard and was instrumental in that last try. But Kieran in particular, he's come on a heck of a lot. And when we saw him just over, not even 12 months ago, we could see that he had that raw potential, and he's just building on that all the time now.
See, Cup Rugby coming up now. In terms of your Wales internationals, where do you stand in terms of having those available for next Sunday?
We'd probably have a similar mix, I think, of players available, I would have thought.
So they go back to train first with Wales?
Yeah, they go back on Monday.
Right. Have you requested to have any boys back earlier?
No,
because it's a semi-final?
No, not as yet. We speak with the Welsh management, and we'll see where they are with everything, and they obviously are mindful of where we are as well. We're actually going to have a few days off now. Right. It's been a relentless season. People who aren't in the semi-final will have a couple of weeks off now. We don't want that off. It's great, but I think it's important that we give our players some time off. So they'll have the next 3 days off. Come in on Tuesday, energized, ready to prepare for a playoff, which is great. It's what we want.
I suppose you're going into the final 8 weeks of the season. 3 trophies still to play for.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's very pleasing to be in this situation. But it is all about each game now is going to have a huge influence on the success or failure of our season. So it's a hugely important period on the back of what's been a long old season, and that's why it's important we keep the group as fresh as we possibly can.
And obviously 7 league wins, I think, now in a row here at Pakistan.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a record. I think we've done that for some time, whether it be here or in Stradi. So great, I think it proves that we're making this place our own and making it difficult for sides to come here, and we're becoming more comfortable with it as well.
Yeah. Job done again, guys. 5 points, same as last week.
Yeah, great result for us. You know, the 5 points as well as the icing on the cake is exactly what we set out to do, and really pleased.
What was the difference tonight compared to last week in terms of it seemed a lot more comfortable this evening?
Yeah, you know, games go like the ones did last week. We just tried to you know, rid our games of errors which cost us in the start of last week, and in all fairness to Treviso, they were very physical and they were no mugs by any means, and you know, we just tried to make sure we started strongly, which I thought we did, and we sort of played ourselves into that game. And again, Connacht were no easy means. It was a very physical game, especially up front, and you know, we played in the right areas, played well, good clinical, and you know, it always pays off then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, home night is spoken about the home record. Your season almost is going to be defined now by the next 6 weeks when you're away from home, and then we've got 2 big cup ties, and you know, 3 league games away as well.
Yeah, it's a big. You know, I can't really answer the fact that one side's home advantage is massive, but in theory it shouldn't really be, and we've just got to put that in the back of our minds. We've had some great victories on the road in League, Cup and whatnot, so you know, we're just going to have to put that to the back of our minds, ensure that we implement the game plan which we need to do, and if we do that, there's no reason why we can't be successful.
And of course, one of those at Northampton, which will obviously come in handy this week, building up to that game on Sunday. Yeah,
it's going to be very difficult. Northampton got a very strong side, whether it's international period or not, and we have to be on top of our game, and especially in Cup Rugby up in Franklin's Gardens, to come away with anything, and we all realise that. So it's a couple of days off now and then back to knuckle down to a big week of training.
What have you done well the last couple of weeks?
It's just you just try and get some momentum, and we obviously there's chopping and changing, but we need to ensure which is pretty good that everyone make sure that, you know, even down to the academy, are running in the positions, and we just try to build momentum, rid the game of as many errors as possible. You know, tweak little things from game to game depending on the opposition, and it's just having to put that into play then, moving forward into the game.
I suppose a lot of games have been tight this year. It's been nice last couple of weeks to be scoring tries as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so the league's getting tighter and tighter, and well, any game professionally is, you know, where the way defences are, especially, and it was pleasing tonight that we sort of ground them down, and we were clinical when we needed to be. Probably we haven't been so clinical in other games, which have you know, made us having to scrape through or go swung the other way. So it was pleasing tonight that we actually strung some ending together, which resulted in the bonus point.
Was the front rower scoring all the tries at the moment?
Yeah, there's something about it, you know, when Reece goes down and then someone else steps up to the plate. So, but I don't mind who scores a try as long as it's scoreboard sticking over.